So anyway, should we get on to the final question?
Dun dun dun.
So
this is a big question.
Yeah, I was going to say
this is a good question.
This question's probably going to take us a little while.
Which is why we left it till last.
Yeah. But anyway, Silver JD14 asks,
hi.
What are your favourite moments from the series?
And it's one of those simple questions just open up such a can of worms.
Yeah, so we've done our top 5 each, and we're going to go like 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2.
You want to start with your number 5?
So yeah, we're going to go through. My number 5 is from Banjo-Kazooie Abridged, and it's episode 9, which is the Christmas episode, and it's when Banjo and Kazooie accidentally kill Boggy.
That was a good bit.
Let's ride.
Let's not.
Because it's been such a faff to have that kind of hanging over our heads going through Tui. Now it's got a really convoluted line where, like, in episode 8 of Tui, like, Mrs. Boggy says that she revived him using Bob and then sold it to the witches, and then... But it was just such a funny thing at the time.
Well, I've got to admit, on mine, we went through, we were just trying to gauge which ones we liked, and I've actually crossed out running over polar bear. So it was one of my top favourite shows. My honourable mentions that just didn't make the list.
Yeah, and I do like that that episode in mass is just Banjo-Kazooie not helping anyone. I don't think they get a single jiggy, because the Twinklies will get eaten, and then the walrus runs off into his cave and doesn't want to help, and then they kill this polar bear and then they just leave.
You just think, it's what swell people say. Swell.
I think it kind of is almost. It's a very. Yeah, it's a very good Banjo-Kazooie episode in general, because it kind of encapsulates what we want about the series, which is Banjo-Kazooie really aren't doing much to help. They're just kind of here.
And they're not really, they're kind of like anti-heroes in the way. They're just kind of here and they're just kind of going through the motions because there's a sister involved.
They try to help, but they often end up making it worse, and this kind of was everything went wrong.
My number 5 is actually episode 1, our very first episode we did. Now, I know we've talked about that a little bit at the start of this talk through, but I just loved the idea that we all started with, like getting used to the characters, figuring out their voices, and I like listening back to it because that's 7 years ago, and it was the start of everything that we decided to do till this date.
What plan, mistress?
Oh shit, my golden can talk.
Yeah, so it's more of a top 5 because of this almost the sentimental value of it.
I find it so funny because she's talking to the cauldron and she's kind of like picking her nose at the same time, and the cauldron's just like, and she's just like, no, I'm going to go out, and then, you know, I'm just going to pick up this girl, and I don't know, it was just funny at the time. And the fact that Banjo is asleep. Apparently, according to Nintendo, you cannot have a hero start a game unless they're asleep. They have to be asleep, otherwise you get cancelled. It's just how it is.
Yeah, basically.
They're main ones anyway. But I just love all the jokes from it, and I love just the start off.
Yeah, the first joke, which always stays, is what the holy shit, my cauldron can talk.
Yeah. So.
Like this thing with a big face on it, and she's like, ah.
Exactly. So that's my number 5.
Number 4s? Should I?
Yep.
Okay, so number 4 is Banjo-Tooie Abridged, and it is the bar scene from episode 11. Later, in the pub.
Banjo, you shouldn't drink that. You've had too much.
You're not my mum, you drunk bitch. And you big ugly pirate. Stop staring at me.
Do not be disrespecting Captain Black-Eye. You'll be reminding me of the bear that stole my glory, and that memory caused me to have a violent disposition of sorts.
I'll be stealing more than your glory in a minute if you don't fuck off.
Yay! Don't make me put me metal toe caps in your ass, you scurvy dog. Don't to furry bollocks like that. He may be an asshole, but he's my asshole.
Oh, thanks, Kazooie.
Shut up, you asshole. I have grenades. Watch this.
Yeah.
Where Banjo-Kazooie get drunk.
Gotta love a bit of getting drunk.
Because that's another episode of Banjo-Kazooie show up, try to help. This time they actually succeed because they just kind of find Mary Maggie inside the giant fish. But yeah, and there's quite a few things from that episode as a whole that I quite like. Like when he's like, you can stay in the room, and Banjo goes, oh boy, and just blows up the door, and he's like, I've got the keys! Would you like to rent a room whilst you're here? Of course. Why did you do that? I have the key right here. But no, it's when they pick the fight with the pirate and he throws them out and they just kind of have that instant hangover when they fall in the water and like, ah.
I've got to admit, my number 4 is actually round about the same sort of idea. It's episode 13 of Banjo-Tooie with the real cops Isle of Hags.
Previously on Banjo-Tooie Abridged. We now return you to Real Cops of the Isle of Hags on the video game channel. Please, Mrs. Mr. Oh, sorry. Please, Mr. Roger, can you describe the criminal who blew up your wall to the artist? Well, there was 2 of them. One was a brown mammal with a bit of a naive expression. The other was a bird that was carried around on the guy's back. Okay. Did you get anything from that? Here, sir. We have you now, you son of a bitch.
Of course, they're talking to the frog behind the counter, and he's kind of like, they look like this, and like, you're never going to catch me, and, end up blowing stuff up and kidnapping and killing, and it's just funny.
And he describes them to the police officers, and the police officer's like, have you got a profile? And it's like the duck hunt dog.
Yeah! Yeah. So that's what I am, like, that's my number 4. So they're quite similar number 4s.
Yeah, they're literally only like a few episodes apart. So my number 3 is the Witchy World ad. Like the very beginning of the first Witchy World episode. The
Yes.
Come to Witchy World. Because I like that in TV anyway. I love it when an episode starts with like some kind of advert and that plays in later on. Troubled with where to go on holiday? Want somewhere cheap looking and cheap feeling that isn't actually cheap? Don't have any care nor want for safety? Will go places because semi-authoritative voices tell you to? Come to Witchy World. Witchy World, located in central Isle o' Hags, with such attractions as Western Land, Spaceland. Wait, these are from Mario Party 2. Let's start over. Western Land, Spaceland, Hellland, Government Conspiracy Land, Entrance Doorway Land, Tent Land. I think I can stop now. It's the perfect place for kids. So for your holiday this year, pick Witchy World, because we really need the visitors. What's the worst that could happen?
Warning, the management of Witchy World is not held responsible for any injuries or fatalities suffered at Witchy World. Witchy World is not a safe place for anyone, let alone kids. The Isle of Hag Tourism Board wishes to emphasise that they do not consider Witchy World as part of the Isle of Hags, because that's how terrible it is. Bring money.
But I do, and you did like that disclaimer really fast in one take as well,
I see, yeah.
which was really impressive.
Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I was so sure I was going to stumble or like a take, like 50 takes, but I was like, done. Awesome! No, that's a good episode to choose.
Yeah.
My number 3 is actually the Nuts and Bolts episode 2. I like it because they're like exploring a new world, but they're so making fun of like the concept of nuts and bolts. And like, of course, they're kind of both fat as well. And you've got this character, and he's like trying to explain everything. I like
how that episode starts, because it's like previously, and it's like just a thing going down the ramp. He's like, ow, my face. Previously on Giant Letdown Sequel Abridged. I don't want to play. Tough shit. And now the exciting conclusion. Oh, gross.
Yeah. So I like that one.
Yeah, I liked how silly we could be with the nuts and bolts episodes. To an
Because let's
extent.
be honest, we all know that nuts and bolts aren't our favourite, so we could just be as silly as we wanted to be.
Basically. So number 2. So number 2, I've cheated a little because it's a combination of 2 episodes, but they are linked. It's the Gobi episodes. Now the story of a bear and bird who lost everything, and the one camel who had no choice but to keep himself together. It's the Gobi Show.
Yes.
Because Nick has always been fun to work with as Gobi. Because all 3 of us recorded together last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
And whilst me and you were doing our banjo-kazooie banter, he just started laughing in the background because he was finding it funny, which was it's really good to hear, actually, when you've got someone laughing.
There's nothing better than actually laughing at your own
Yeah, because if you're laughing...
material, because if you're laughing, then other people should laugh.
It's like the number one thing I tell people who I talk to about writing, because I write more than this, I write quite a few things, is like, at the end of the day, if it makes you laugh, there's a good chance it can make someone else laugh. So you might as well just write it down. But yeah, like the first one, because I like the mockumentary kind of style, like where it's like profiling him. I mean, it became a bit more difficult in the second episode because he doesn't have as much going on in the game, because it's all just in Hellfire Peak. No, it's Witchy World then Hellfire Peaks. And yeah, I like the first one because it just the kind of all this really stupid gags like Banjo's Valley. Like Banjo kicks him out and then puts a wooden plank across the door, which is like, it's my valley now because I'm the president. And then chases him out of his own land, and then chases him out of Click Clock Wood, and he's just Banjo being a bit of a dick. Like I know I said earlier bless you. Someone else in the room, it's fine. I know. I think I said earlier in this, didn't I? I don't like characters being outright like nasty to each other.
No.
But Banjo's just so over the top that I think it's fine. Like, because Banjo's just being so over the top, like horrible to Gobi, and you got like, but you don't. Yeah. And then the second one, I really like the Arrested Development opening, although it took me ages to make. And like I do.
What for though?
Yeah. Yeah. I like the whole kind of threading through, and I like the ones where it is based on TV. I put in in like speech marks because we had like adverts in it, and allows us to create like stretch our creative muscles a bit more, and it's
not just stuck with
almost
what you get in the game.
Almost world building in a way, because you're like exploring different characters in a bit more depth than just Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my number 2.
My number 2 is the Klungo fights. So it's not exactly an episode, it's a concept. But I just love the Klungo fights. I feel so sorry for Klungo, and I think he's a great character. And the fact that Philip makes him German, it just suits. And the fact that he always goes back to his mistress, who then beats him up, sends him back to be beaten up again, and his power level's just gone way down. So no wonder they managed to beat him again. But I just like the banter he has with the banjo-kazooie in the Abridged.
This time things will be different. What happened to you? We didn't bruise you that much, did we? My mistress beated me after our last scuffle.
She's that intent on beating us that she damages her only fighter? Huh.
Yes, indeed. But now I'm It's fair enough. And I did like how you referred to its power level. Are you really going to get it? Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power?
It says over 9,000! I think we can stop.
Although we probably should have done our own character, shouldn't we? Grandilda, what does the scouter say about his power level?
He says it's over 9,000!
What? 9,000? God, that was terrible.
It's all good.
So we're on number 1.
We're on number 1.
I think we have the same number 1.
I feel we have the same number 1, but we'll find out. You say your number 1, I'll say if I agree with you.
Yeah.
So our number 1 choice
top moment from the series
is
the musical numbers.
Which is mine too. Musical choices I put. But
Yeah,
yes.
because yours is more of a wide-ranging, like the music choices throughout the entire series, like the opening themes, closing themes.
I just love the way that we Philip's really thought about how we want it to look and feel. Like the nuts and bolts theme tune to open up. Shit is fucked up.
Don't know much, I don't know too much, but I know this shit is fucked.
Oh, shit is messed up.
Yeah.
And don't need money, boom, boom, don't need fame, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Power of Love for Tootie. I just like the introductions. It really kind of gets me dancing and kind of like in the mood for like recording. I'm just like, yeah.
Don't need money, don't take fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train.
And then the musical choices that I've been asked to do concerning Dear Grunty have sometimes been a bit of a challenge, but they've always turned out really well. So
And I think it plays into what we were saying about Grunty's character right at the beginning of this, is that she's kind of in it to have fun.
what did she say?
She said sing a different one.
Okay. Banjo, why?
For the lols. Ow!
Oh, I'm the queen of the castle, oh, the layer VIP. You've reached the top, but now must stop, cause you're not gonna end me. I wanna be a sexy lady and walk right into town. Hang with flirts, wear skin-free skirts, I'm tired of rolling around.
I do like that kind of underlying thread through Banjo-Tooie that Minjella doesn't want her to sing. Because that's obviously just that's just a reference to how in the actual game, Minjella says if you keep on rhyming, we're not going to help you. Whereas this is, if you sing, we're not going to help you. And then at the very end, Grunty's just like, boop, drops a weight, and then sings anyway. Actually, old Boney over there isn't allowed to sing. It was one of the conditions of us helping her. Who are you?
How about you, Blobby? You have a problem with me singing?
I knew these weights were a bad idea.
But I like also the fact you were saying about being creative. Like with the songs and stuff, we've really been able to get really creative on like our interpretation of how banjo abridged should be. So I've just really enjoyed being a part of it and trying to sing with a accent.
Yeah, you do very well considering you're singing as Grunty.
Let me tell you guys a story. Oh boy, here we go. The name that everyone will fear is gonna be Grunty. The name that minions will revere is gonna be Grunty. I'm gonna be a monstrosity. That means no one that you know is safe.
And like, I do think, yeah, the most recent one's really good because it was like the full song, and even Blobby got involved, which was a bit of a challenge, but it was...
Singing with Blobby's voice is probably worse than singing with Grunty's voice.
You can't hold a note.
No, you really can't. But yeah.
But yeah, that's our number one moment, is the musical numbers. And I think it kind of almost draws from like old school Simpsons as well.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Mr. Burns of like, see my vest, made of real gorilla chest.
No, man. What do you say? Monorail.
Monorail.
Monorail. Monorail. Monorail.
And I think that's where we get a lot. You can probably see a lot more inspiration in episodes as we've gone on from like TV than just other abridgers.
Oh yes, you can see parts of Simpsons and our silly humour in there, and
You can see bits of Futurama. I'd even say bits, not as heavily as you can in TFS, but you can see little bits of Archer.
yeah.
But in theirs you can see even more because they do that Archer thing where the next scene starts talking before it cuts, and the lines play off each other quite well, which is always quite a difficult thing to do well, which they do. But yeah, it's the thing. At the end of the day, we're all just basing stuff off what inspires us, and then we create something new from it.
Because that's what being creative is all about.
Stealing.
No, being creative.
Anyway, I am very surprised at how much we've been talking. I might have put this up as multiple parts if I don't. But anyway, this is going to be like the ABK podcast episode. And I suppose if there was more to talk about, if you did want to hear us talk about something that we haven't talked about today,
Please leave a comment below and we'll be happy to get back to you.
and what's your favourite moment? Obviously, I know Silver JD14, who gave us the question, gave us his. Ironically, this was before the most recent episode came out, but he said it was the musical number from Banjo-Kazooie. So it seems like
He's
everyone
got
loves
two
the musical
scores.
numbers.
Good choice.
And I might stick the musical number from the most recent episode of Tui up just as its own separate video, just because it is a whole song, whereas
Yeah.
the last one, because I do like how Grunty gets interrupted halfway through, but it does mean that it's not really proper to like stick up half a song
Yeah.
as like its own video in a way. But yeah, tell us what your favourite moment is, tell us what your least favourite moment is, but please don't make us cry. Favourite level, least favourite character, least favourite character in both the game and the Abridged. Just let us know your thoughts in the comments, and yeah.
I've been VicStar.
I've been haddowinc, and we'll see you very soon for the finale.
Thank you for watching.
Bye bye.